Welcome to the Mix Six Badger Beer Report. And this is a special night for us here at Badger Beer Report because we are welcoming a new member to the team, and we're excited about that. And the new member, if y'all have probably seen on our social media, her name is Chelsea McCoon. She is a designer, sales rep, certified cicerone, and she's a part of our wonderful family now. So without further ado, let's bring up Chelsea McCoon
Hi.
from one of my favorites, Earth Rider Brewing and Superior, Wisconsin.
Way up there.
Yeah. But you were joining me from somewhere not that far or not up there, but in the state.
No.
But
No.
welcome, Chelsea. Welcome. Yay. Isn't there claps in there? all right. So we welcome you. Do you have anything to talk or to say on the top before we get into the six?
I'm really excited. This is a brand new endeavor for me. I'm not really one to be on stage and talk a lot, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, neither was I, and here I am. All right. So without further ado, let's bring this up. The first beer in the six pack is designing, and that's because Chelsea is a designer. Chelsea, what's going on? You started as a designer, now you're in beer. We're gonna get that all transition later, and you're still a designer too. But how did that come apart? Was this a childhood thing? What was going on?
So I am a big old video game nerd. I've been playing video games since I was probably 10 years old. And I went to school. I got my degree in digital arts with a 3D concentration in animation. And I really wanted to get video games. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of video game industries in Wisconsin. But because I had that digital arts degree, I did learn Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, all those fun things. So one of my first jobs out of school was working as a graphic designer for a company in Milwaukee. I worked there for a year, and then kind of fell more into the restaurant scene, worked there. But still throughout that, I still used the design skills. I made posters, I did logos, I entered art shows. Those are two of my watercolors that I've done. The fox one, I submitted into a spirit animal at the Racine Art Museum a couple, 2-3 years ago. And then the other one, it's an Irish folklore story about the white selkie, which is one of my favorite stories. So I decided to paint that. So that's what those two are. Not really big into watercolors, but those are my go-tos for it. And this one, actually, the Racine Art Museum, where I worked for about a year or two, they do the peep show, where it's not anything crazy. People make sculptures or pieces of art out of peeps and bring them to the Ram. It's up on a show for, I think, a week or two. So this is one of my submissions. It's a digital illustration of my little sister. She was probably 10 years old at the time. My parents gave her peeps on a stick, and she just had this funny look on her face. And I this is a great thing to try to digitize. So we have that hanging up in my parents' office now. So apparently I like that, thankfully.
That's neat. That's neat. Neato. And we also have, so then those were, I guess we could consider them, or maybe not the Racine, or we could both, I guess we can consider them personal projects, right? Yes. And then this is what we accomplish professionally, right? Did I get that right?
Yes. Yeah. The art stuff, some of it I've done for work. All of the stuff that we just shown was all personal projects, stuff that I was putting in shows and that kind of stuff. Anything professional was usually like beer posters or event posters that I had to use for the restaurants or when I was working for a distribution company.
Excellent, excellent. And you won an award or something.
Yes. So that was back when my parents owned a Wingstop in Kenosha. This was probably like the first year or two that they owned it. Kenosha had a King of Wings contest at one of the local high schools. And we won, I believe that one was for non-traditional wing, and that was for our garlic parmesan. So that was a fun event. That was the first of many awards that we won while we were running the store down there. So
It's pretty the garlic parmesan is great there. Anyway.
so good.
Not trying to dwell on that, y'all. Not trying to dwell. So next, the next one in the beer 6-pack or the mixed 6-pack, y'all, we have beer working. So then, apparently, Chelsea, there was a transition from, or was there a transition from designing to beer, and where does beer come into all this play? Because that's where it comes in now.
So I got into beer probably in my early 20s. I was your typical, like, I don't like beer. Just give me, back then it was, Jack and Coke, or I'll choke down a Coors Light or something like that. But I had some friends that were like, here, try this beer. It's a stout. Okay, I like it. Here, try this white stout. Okay, I like it. And there was a place that I used to live by in Kenosha called The Buzz, and a good friend of mine worked there. And he liked to do the whole, what will Chelsea drink today? So he always gave me different things to try. He could never guess what I wanted because I always wanted to try something new. And so I got really into beer that way. And it was when I was working at Palomino as the manager that I started working towards getting my Cicerone, or my certification for Cicerone.
So Palomino's a bar, I'm assuming.
Yes, it's a bar in Milwaukee. Yep, it's in the Bayview area.
Okay, so then there you were inspired to get beer education.
Yes, yeah. I figured, look at any other professionalism, they always have some kind of continuing education, hairstylists, estheticians, doctors, lawyers, they all have some kind of education they can do while they're working. And I was thinking, well, I've been doing at this point service industry for 10, 15 years. What can I do to further my education? So Cicerone was one of them that I did. I also am a certified bourbon steward, which means it's a fancy way of saying I can do bourbon tastings.
Nice. So you said the Palomino. I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with it. I'm assuming that it's a craft beer bar where you were introduced to a whole lot of different beers.
We have they would have strictly craft beer on tap. I believe there was like 6 to 8 taps that we had, always rotating. So we always had new ones going on. We would have different tap takeovers throughout the months. For I think the year 2019, we were doing beer school. So we had a friend coming in that would talk to guests who bought tickets, and they would go through different types of beer and talk about it and explain, like, we use this malt for this beer and it's supposed to give this. We use this yeast for this beer to get this. And I thought it was just cool because it gave beer nerds a way to come together and learn about stuff. And also I got to learn things that I didn't know about beer, and it really helped deepen my love for it.
Yeah. So much so that so then you got your Cicerone, and then you went to work for a beer distributor, which I find fascinating.
Yeah. So it was during COVID. I had fortunately lost my job. And then I was just serving for a bit. I had my youngest during that time. And after he was born, I didn't want to go back into service industry because I didn't want to be working until 2:00 in the morning and then wake up at 4 in the morning with a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old. And General Beer had just posted a position for a craft beer sales route in the Kenosha Racine area. I'm like, well, I know beer. I know the Kenosha and Racine area pretty well. So I applied for the job. I thankfully got it, and that's where I started actually working in the beer industry, which was super exciting.
Were you a cicerone at that point?
I was.
Okay. Just noting for folks wanting to know the journey and understanding. As a certified beer server, who is an aspiring cicerone, I understand that it takes the work that it takes to put in there. I should be joining you soon, Chelsea. But this show's
Woohoo!
not about me. This is about you. And so yeah, so certified cicerone, y'all. For before we move on, it's something that I obviously Chelsea believes that has value, and I believe too because I'm on my way to do it. It's a really nice beacon, or not beacon. I'm sorry. It's a really nice achievement to understand, and to show your knowledge of beer on a big level. So uh, where is cheers, 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 cheers. So how was so then the transition and COVID made many people made everybody transition, actually, literally
Yeah.
everybody. But a lot of people, some people were able to keep their jobs, some people lost them. But so explain us to a little bit, how is it, how was it working for a beer distributor, and what kind of what kind of eyes did that give you as far as looking at beer in a different way, because clearly you have to after that.
Yeah. Thankfully, with working for my parents at their restaurant and Wingstop, my dad was always a stickler in making sure that we didn't have any expired beer in the fridge, and making sure everything was faced so that the labels were all faced out no matter what. And that was one of the first things they were training me on when I joined GB, was to make sure that if anything was expired, make sure it got picked up, because no one wants to drink anything expired, and you want to make it look nice. Cool. Got that done. I got you.
Notice though,
But
y'all.
then
Y'all heard that, right? Okay. Because sometimes they get lost in the sauce, because we find expired beer a lot, when we're
oh
out there,
yeah.
and then people just automatically either blame the distributor, you know what I mean? Like, the distributor wants to sell that, and it's like, no, that's not how they want to really do it. You know what I mean? Like, we almost like apply evil capitalism on everything immediately. You know what I mean?
It's
And
true.
it may or may not be true, but we're not trying to go down that road. I'm just saying, I think that's kind of that mentality, if that makes sense, Chelsea. You know what I mean? We're almost like, you know what I mean? Like, well, they want it that way,
It has to be
No,
somebody's fault.
right. And you hear, I just wanted to note that you hear Chelsea saying that that's not, that's one of the things that, obviously it was the first thing that, she learned. So that's one that, or, was directed to do, basically. So you hear that,
and it,
y'all,
and
it's
it was
important. It's important.
it was definitely one of the things too. Like, obviously, so as a sales rep, we got paid commission, so we wanted to sell as much beer and NA products as possible. But also, you don't want to sell so much that you had an abundance in an account and suddenly it went bad and you have to bring it back, and that comes out of your pay as well. So it's always walking a fine line of like, yes, I want to make money this month, but also I don't want to lose out on my bonuses or my commissions because I was feeling greedy in this moment. Um, that really came to light for me more so when I moved to the Madison market. Um, then it's so funny, with two cities that are an hour and a half apart, they're two completely different beasts. They both approach beer in a totally different way. So that was always kind of fun to learn as well.
At another time, we're going to delve into that. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. So, obviously, uh, beer 3, y'all, in the 6-pack here, is obviously that experience led you to earth riding,
Yes,
which is where we are right now, I believe.
it is. It was one of those, when I started working a distributor, I knew that I wanted to go work for a brewery. I thought it was a better course of action for me than moving up a corporate chain ladder. Um, so I had taken some time off from working for a distributor. We had some issues with childcare, so I was staying home with my little one. And I had some friends post that Earthrider was looking for a sales rep position down here, and I was like, I know beer. I haven't had their beer, but I know beer. So I applied for the job. Had our first interview with them. Then honesty is the best policy. So I straight up told him, like, I haven't had your beer yet. I'm going to go on and find where I can find it after this interview so I can try it. And the first two beers that I bought were Tap Shack and Superior. And those are still two of my favorite beers that they make. And my husband loves it. But Jeff, who was my manager, he was at Del's on Tap a couple weekends after and talked to some friends saying, I'm choosing between some of these people, can I get your opinions on this? And they're like, you should hire Chelsea. And they were thankfully people that I had worked with when I was working for GB. So they knew me well enough. They're like, you definitely need to hire Chelsea. She's going to be fantastic for you guys. And here I am. I started in November, and it's been pedal to the metal since. It's we hit beer and cheese. We did a Women's Month. We did 4 events for Great Taste this year, which our distributor was like, we've never had a brewery do that before. So it's been fun.
So yeah, so let's everybody please remind everybody where Earth Rider is, please.
Earth Rider is located in Superior, Wisconsin. So it is right across a bridge from Duluth, Minnesota. So we are as far north as possible without being out of Wisconsin.
And in a state with many beautiful coastlines, Superior has one of them.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. We were up there a couple weeks ago, and my youngest was just like, "Mama, look at the boat! Look at the big boat! Look at the big bridge! Look at the big cranes! Look at the helicopter!" He was so ecstatic up there.
Also, y'all, for concentrated breweries, that area has a fantastic bunch. You have to maybe go into Canada a little bit for some of them. I mean Minnesota, sorry, but
same thing.
Yeah. Especially up that far, y'all wilding up there. But no. I mean that Duluth Superior scene up there is just excellent. I cannot stress it enough, especially in the summer. And y'all crazy if you go up there in the winter. But look, we got to do something in the winter in Wisconsin. But no, Earth Rider is Superior, y'all. Really close to Duluth, like right. You could probably see Duluth from and Superior, vice versa from many spots.
You can literally see the high bridge that goes from Superior to Duluth from the backyard of Earth Rider. So it's literally right on Lake Superior and the train yards and the harbor and all that fun stuff. So
absolutely, and we will be hearing more about Earth Rider and Chelsea on the Badger Beer Report. We'll be hearing more about Earth Rider from Chelsea on the Badger Beer Report and different areas. Hopefully, we will see how all that works out. But we are thankful that Earth Rider is, what is the word I want to use? Letting Chelsea, go do this and being cool about it. We're being cool about it, and we will talk about that in a little bit. But we will remain as journalistically what's the word I want to use? Astute as we are. Yeah, as we are. But we loved Earth Rider before Chelsea, so like respectfully. We're gonna love Earth Rider after, and we're gonna scream about it. And then we have our breweries that we like too, so everybody is entitled to their personal opinions. But we do, and when we report news, we report news. But anywho, y'all, just wanted to let you know, or just talk about that little bit of we promote all breweries that want to be promoted by us. So there's that. But given Chelsea is part of our family now, and Chelsea's part of Earth Rider's family. Earth Rider is part of our family. So you see how those connections work, y'all. It's cool. It's cool though. And I met Chelsea through Earth Rider. If y'all remember, she was on with Joel during our Earth Rider podcast, and then she came on with me to talk about the pre-parties. So we did have some working together a little bit before I had the wonderful, fantastic idea, one of my better ones, y'all, to ask Chelsea to come on to the crew. So good times with that. So let's have some fun here, y'all. Those are Chelsea is available via Chelsea. Where can people get a hold of you? First of all,
I mean, Facebook is a great way. I always get notifications popped up on there. I'm on Instagram, Chelly VBug. Honestly, I'm
and you are
If you in the wild, you can say, "Hey."
yeah, and you are the southern rep, right? Southern Wisconsin
Yes.
rep.
Yep.
So anybody who has any questions about Earthrider, Chelsea will answer them. Or if you have any questions about where you can find Earthrider, Chelsea will be able to tell you that and all that. So feel free to if you need to contact Badger Beer Report, we can put you in contact with Chelsea, or you can contact Chelsea too. But if you need to know anything about Earthrider, that's your lady, and we will go on that. So let's talk about imbibing. Obviously, you are a beer drinker. I don't
Yep.
know any. Are you in anything? Oh, sorry, beer and bourbon, because you don't become a bourbon taster if you don't like tasting it, right, y'all?
It's true. It's very true.
And so, what is your drinking philosophy, Chelsea? What is your when you drink? I know you're a mood drinker. Everybody's a mood drinker, actually.
Yes.
It just depends on where your mood takes you. Sometimes mood takes us way out of beer. Sometimes mood keeps us in beer. So yeah, what are your what's your drinking philosophy? What's your how does Chelsea decide what to drink when?
Back in the day, I was all about the double dry hopped IPAs, the milkshake
Mm.
IPAs, all of those. I loved them so much.
Citra, Mosaic.
I have a soft spot for Citra. I think
do
it just has
too.
I think it just has such a nice tone to it. But I think probably about 3 years ago, I got hopped out. Like I was drinking an IPA and I drank about half of it, and I was just like, I can't finish the rest of it. It's too bitter. It's too chewy for me. So it was just a lot of stuff. So for a while, I was just going towards lighter beers. One of my favorites was Enlightened Cream City Bricks. I love a good cream ale, and I think it's a highly underrepresented style these days.
That is one of Joel Geyer's favorite beer ever. The dude was devastated when Enlightened closed.
I was so sad. I went one of the last days, grabbed a 12-pack of Cream City so I grabbed a 12-pack. 6-pack was for me and 6 was for Jeff Gray, my manager, because it has a special place in his heart as well. But yeah, I was super bummed. And then when I found out that we have a blueberry honey cream ale, I'm like, okay, sign me up. Say less. Sounds great. Awesome.
And I know
I
it's
get
excellent.
samples.
I
Yes,
already
and I
know it's
get
excellent.
samples, and part of the perks of this job is you usually have a pretty stocked beer fridge. So when we got the blueberry honey, my husband tried it, and suddenly a 6-pack was gone. Like, you can't do that. Those are my samples. Those are for me to give out to people so they buy our beer. So safe to say that is a big hit in our house. It's one of his favorites. Like I said earlier, Tap Shack and Superior is my favorite. Even though I'm hopped out, I'm still a big fan of pale ales. Zombie Dust was one of my favorites. Fresh Coast from Three Sheeps is one of my favorites. If it's balanced and it's got the hops and the crispness that I'm looking for, I'll drink it. I'm 100% down for it. But if I can't find a good pale ale, I'm going to go to lagers or pilsners or cream ales for sure.
Okay. And then you jump over to bourbon. Do you mess with any of the other exotic things going on, like seltzers and THC drinks and all those wonderful things that are hidden?
I'm right now drinking the Eagle Park. They have like the ice cream or the soft served seltzers. So this is their strawberry fluff. I tried it when I was at Great Taste and I thought it was delicious. So I last week went and got a 4-pack for myself. So I've been drinking that lately. My husband is usually the one that drinks bourbon. I'll do it every once in a while these days. But I got in the habit of not drinking a lot with the little one around. Just always being on and making sure that everything was okay. But I mean,
those damn kids affected our damn drinking habits. How do we let that happen, Chelsea?
But I mean, you can't go wrong with a good Maker's Mark or Knob Creek or my father-in-law used to have a bunch of Blantons, and he gifted us a bottle of Blantons. So we had blends for a bit in this household until I think like last year was when we finally finished it off. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with classics, I think.
No, you can't. Now I'm going to hit you with a beer question.
Okay.
So, you walk into a brewery. What 5 styles would you like to choose from, Chelsea?
I want to have a variety. Even if I'm not going to drink all of them, I want a variety. So I want a lighter beer. I want a Pilsner or a lager, something that's going to be less than 5%. Just so if we have some place to go, I want to make sure that I'm not going to be messed up for the next stop. And then I would like an IPA, just an IPA. I know it's kind of hard these days to find just a regular IPA, but I just want an
Regular,
IPA.
straight American IPA.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, and that could be an IPA or a pale ale. I mean, at some point, sometimes they're interchangeable, but something that has some hops, but it's not overly done, something that I can have more than one of if I need to, and I'm not going to be on the floor. And on the same side, also maybe have like a higher ABV of IPA, like a double dry hopped or a milkshake or something that's you can have one and that's probably all you should have. And then you have to have a dark beer. You have to have a stout or a porter. And it doesn't have to be a heavy guy. I mean, our stout is 6%, I believe. Or a Guinness. I mean, Guinness is a lighter beer as well, despite being a dark beer. But just sometimes you want that toastiness, that maltiness, and I think that's important there too. I think that's 4. And then, of course, you do want a heavy hitter because there's sometimes those people that just want a heavy, dark beer, like a barley wine or barrel-aged Scotch ale, or just something that's going to be like a good 14%er that you get in a little snifter glass that you think, oh, I can finish this in 2 sips, and then you have your first sip. I'm like, oh nope, this is my drink for the night. That's it.
One of those, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yes. All right. Excellent. Well, great answer. I would answer that, but this show's not about me. So
it's for another episode.
Yeah, we can do that. So we're season. It's that time, that chill in the air has hit us, Chelsea. It's that time. You know, people are like, oh, some people are like, especially like me, I used to say it, I don't drink seasonally. I drink all year round. What y'all drinking is not going to affect my drinking. Yeah, that sounds great, Greg. But it doesn't do good in
Good for you.
like the fall's my worst. The fall's my worst, actually. The pumpkin, the Oktoberfest, the fest beer, the you know what I mean, even the hot toddies and the hot, is that a hot toddy, which is like what, hot apple cider and right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be cider. It can just be bourbon, water, lemon, and
okay,
simple syrup or sugar.
It's that time of year. So, what are your favorite fall things to drink, Chelsea?
Well, if we're going non-alcoholic, I love apple cider. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. I actually make some at home. I'll get a big bushel of apples and I'll have it cooking over the stovetop and love it. It's my favorite.
You make your own.
I do.
Well, some of them are just too sweet, though. Like if we're talking the non-alcoholic, you know what I mean? Some of them is just too much sugar, and it just ruins the apple flavor, actually.
And I found out if you use brown sugar instead of white sugar, you're gonna get that sweetness, but also you're gonna get that like a darker note to it too, which is I like doing that.
All right. But yeah, of course, you know, we're imbibing. So you know, what are your favorite fall drinks? And notice I said favorite drinks, I didn't say beer. So
I did.
Kind of left it open, right? I just don't want you to say that goofy Starbucks spice latte thing. We can't do that. I'm
an outlier of the basic white girls. I'm actually not a huge fan of pumpkin in the first place. I all for it. Go for it if you want your pumpkin spice. I love that for you. That's great. It's not for me. I don't like even making pumpkin pie because that's not my favorite.
Chelsea.
I know. It's my husband's favorite, so I do make it for him, but I don't have any.
Okay. I don't know.
um,
Husbands. I sign off for the husband. I met him. It's cool. He's cool. Now he's even cooler.
he's
He's a
cool.
pumpkin guy. So
But if we do, I mean, I do like a good Oktoberfest. I do like a good fest beer. When I was working for GP in Madison, we sold Polliner, and they have a obviously because it's Polliner, they have a great selection of Marzens and Oktoberfests and Munich Darks and all that fun stuff. So, and it's kind of near and dear to my heart. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with a German style beer during Oktoberfest and fall time for sure.
yeah. Falls is such a fun time. The transition, the still, the heat's still there, but there's that chill still there. We have the hot days, we have the cold days. This is Wisconsin, so y'all already know that it gets wild out here. So we will have more about we just starting the whole fall season, y'all. So we'll have more on the Mix Six here coming up about fall styles and all that, and we'll be able to get into it more. And you'll hear more about this is just a tease today at Chelsea, so you'll get more Chelsea later. And how well, it's just time to talk about that. The Horizon. I don't know, y'all. I was doing the theme with the ing thing, so I just put an ing at the end of the Horizon. Does it make any damn sense? No. Is it something that I made up? Yes. You can leave me alone in the comments. Actually, I saw we got a comment. Oh, pumpkin. Yeah, I know. I knew Landon. I didn't know Landon was watching, but I knew Landon would say something because he's a pumpkin guy. He loves it. Yeah, I know. Landon. We'll be nice to the noob for now, but she she ain't gonna be slandering pumpkin in our private chat. So this is not gonna happen. But wait, Chelsea, wait, do you watch football?
Oh, you're not gonna like the answer to this, I think.
Well, I don't know. No, wait. I'll probably gonna like the answer of do you like football? I'm not gonna like the answer of who you watch is what I think I'm gonna hear. So go on, Chelsea. I don't even know. We're on a side tangent, but before we get to the Horizon,
I do like football.
Okay. The only reason I say that is because we have some interpersonal people that like different teams already. So I just wanted to see what you're going to add to the because Landon is part of that. I was going to say problem, but it's not.
It could be a problem. Love football. I worked at Wingstop for 10 years. And we are located in Kenosha. So it was a constant battle of Packer Bear games was always a huge blowout for us. It was always a big deal. We were always super busy. It's weird because my mom is from Skokie, Illinois. So she grew up as a Bears fan. My dad is from Jackson, Michigan. So he's a Lions fan. And Illinois was the first state that I lived in. So I claimed the Bears as my favorite team. And
so you're a Bears fan.
I am a Bears fan.
Dastardly. On a Badger Beer Report. Y'all hear that?
I'm sorry.
Also, Landon is a Vikings fan.
You know what though? We actually have the same thing at the brewery. There's a big group of Packers fans. There's some Viking fans, and actually Frank and I are the Bears fans of the team. So there's a nice little mixture up there too. Yeah,
and many of y'all know I'm a Browns fan. So yeah, that's why I was like, Chelsea, hold on, because I'm not I'm not in this fray a little bit. I mean, I get into the fray because I want to argue with y'all, Bears, Packers, and Viking fans, but I'm not really.
It's anyway.
Fun. It is absolutely fun, and now that we know that you're a Bears fan, the chat should be even more ruckus. But before we get to that, the Horizon. So what is Chelsea going to do, y'all? We saved the best for last. Chelsea, what are you trying to do here?
We're going to do conversations with me. I have a lot of contacts in industry. Obviously, I've been working with beer for close to 5 years. I have plenty of friends that either work for distributors or they work for breweries themselves, or they work at venues that we sell the beer to. And it's a bunch of different perspectives that I don't think gets talked about enough. Like we were talking about earlier, distributors get a bad rep because it's so easy to blame everything on them when a lot of it's just circumstances. So some talking about that fun stuff. And obviously, I have a different perspective of being a woman in the industry that is, I mean, fair to say it's a male dominated industry, but I think that we are, as a group in Wisconsin, for sure making a dent in that and making strides. And I think it's also fun to listen to that perspective as well. So that's the plan, is just having fun conversations.
Amen. And I can't wait. And all those things you said are the reason why I'm uber excited for you to be here and with us. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then the first one, y'all, Mix Six, y'all seen it a couple times, but we kind of want it to be a variety show, y'all. We want it to be it's not news at all. In fact, this is going to be opinion. Chelsea and I are going to anchor that. So you'll see us. You'll see either one of us or both of us or maybe just us. We're going to keep it random, y'all, but we're also going to bring in guests, for that too. Maybe some of Chelsea's friends, maybe some of our friends. We'll see. But it's just going to be, a conversation, 6 topics about beer. And I don't know, maybe we'll stray off and get into some food shaming because I've already heard some questionable things from Chelsea. So, we might delve into some of that too, but beer's food, y'all. So like, that whole foodie thing, it's almost really the same thing. And our breweries are put out some of the best food in the state. Respect to the restaurants. Some of our breweries are just, or they're bringing in food carts that are just amazing. So, Chelsea, we want to thank you again. And question mark, y'all. I believe you'll be seeing Chelsea in different areas of Badger Beer Report. Her voice and her opinion will be felt in this organization, and maybe seen in ways that y'all will not see directly. But believe me, we will be leaning on her for a lot of things as far as everything that we do. So, Chelsea, we want to thank you for joining us. We are excited about you joining us, and stay tuned on our channels, y'all. Chelsea's new, so we gotta put some things in place to make sure that her product comes out as good as the rest of what we do. But you'll be seeing. I think you're going to see Chelsea on. Well, I think we're going to get a Mix Six going. I think next week we're going to do the brewery report, and then I think the week after will be the first quote regular Mix Six. Well, Chelsea will make sure her schedule is allowed for that. But yeah, Chelsea, you have anything to say before we wrap up and go to post production?
I was going to say something
coming up for Earth Rider. Anything we need to know about? I'm sorry to cut you off. Anything we need to know about Earth Rider, and then anything just about joining us or anything?
We're in Oktoberfest season, so September I will be at Total Wines in Milwaukee area and Discount Milwaukee as well, doing samples. And I will be at Crafttoberfest in Green Bay in October, the first weekend of October, the Oktoberfest event in Lorelei Inn in Green Bay, and Wanna Beer in Wanakee at the end of September. So I will be around. Come say hi, drink some beer for sure.
Wanna Beer?
Yeah, it's Wanakee does a little beer fest throughout the town. So we'll be pouring at Buck and Honey's up there.
Oh, and I will see you there.
Cool.
20 minutes from my house. That's
perfect.
Good. So excellent. Look at that. I'm glad I asked. We'll figure that out. And as far as Badger Beer Report, we will see Chelsea on here soon, y'all. And we want to thank y'all for joining us. Obviously, I want to thank Chelsea for joining the family. And we were going to see. I'm really excited about things that are coming, and we'll keep y'all updated on that. Y'all need to follow everything that we do. Also, follow Earth Rider on all the social medias, of course. And if y'all in the north, if y'all in northern Wisconsin, y'all know about Earth Rider. We'll tell you. Southern Wisconsin, we understand if y'all don't know because Superior is in another country. It feels like so. We we understand if y'all in the southern part here, but that's also why Chelsea is doing the job that she's doing, trying to bring the good word of Earth Rider down to the masses down here. So cheers to that, and we will hit the end button here. And I wanted to say again, thank y'all for joining us. Chelsea, welcome.
Thanks.
So the rest of the week we will have we will have at least 2 podcast drops here. One tomorrow, one probably Thursday. We got a bunch actually in the queue all ready to go. So look forward to that. I talked to the biggest tap handle corporation in America is here in Wisconsin, y'all. And I talked to the main designer. We'll have that this week for you. And I talked to a fella from the Brewers Association about the lay of the land economically. We'll have that for you too this week. So cheers, y'all. See you soon, Chelsea. And as Joel says, when either way, whether you are in your local or you're not local, drink local.